Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is another time I've taken to have a small podcast. It's been a while since I had a podcast, and I just want to discuss a few things with a friend of mine, and we want to discuss about certain things that have been affecting us in our cycling community, and some of them are also intertwined with our clubs, and even if you don't participate actively, somehow part of this or it affects. So I want us to have a conversation with a friend of mine who I'm just going to introduce in a short while. And I want us to walk through in this conversation that we're going to have. So welcome. Guys, so today the friend I'm talking with you in this conversation is actually somebody you already know. His name is Iann Agweyu. He's the captain of CityRiders, and he's been very active in certain community activities, especially to do with the critical mass. He's also been involved even in paracycling, and he's been a very active member in Kenya Cycling Fraternity for a while now, and I want to give him some time to introduce himself formally and tell us a little bit about himself.
Hi everyone, I'm Iann Agweyu, captain CityRiders for 5 years now. We started CityRiders back in 2020 as a small club, but with time we have grown big and we are a large community now. I also do paracycling. I normally race, mostly in Nairobi. We also do group rides with CityRiders and other clubs around Nairobi. Yeah, that is what we do.
So I wanted to know a little bit of you. Before you got into CityRiders, what was your life like before then?
I started cycling back in 2017. I used to have a fixie bike, but now I wasn't that much into group rides or any other type of
Cycling.
cycling.
Yeah.
So I used to do more solo rides and commuting to job and back home. I met someone, a very good friend of mine, known as Silvano. He introduced me to a group, and that is how we started CityRiders.
Okay, nice. So it means this CityRiders probably was just somewhere there, but it is until 2020 when now CityRiders now became like a real group.
CityRiders was formed by a guy called Silvano Jeru,
Yes.
or Silvotosh. We call him Silvotosh. They started cycling.
Yes.
So when I joined the group, I got it with only 20 or 30 people around there.
Yes.
So the group was less active. There was no communication most of the time. They would have a ride maybe once in a month. But when I joined and looked how things were being done, I decided to just take over by default. No one forced me into it. I just decided to push something here and there. For our own good. So we started by just having rides every Sunday, short rides. We went on uh, to Corona. Then that is how things came up.
Awesome, awesome. So it's very clear that you are actually you are a leader. You were born a leader, and when Silvanus invited you to these city writers, you realize they were sort of not organized properly, and you tried to organize things, and at least the group was able to pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a very interesting virtue that you have, and you see, there are a lot of people who are like you, and they normally come somewhere, they find something working, but it's not working properly, and they try to organize it. And I think most of us, we know you as the face of CityRiders. We even don't know the rest of the people behind it, like Silvanus. I've actually been hearing Silvanus more than seeing him, though sometimes I've met him in rides, but it's good at least you you made us to know that City Riders actually had some people who founded it.
It was in existence before I joined.
Yes,
Yeah.
and right now most of us will think if City Riders is not doing something, we think it is here. We should answer.
No. I have a very large group that helps me to push things.
So basically, it's like you have a board.
We have a board, not necessarily a board, but we are a team of very good friends.
Yes.
Like
So you have officials that that help you to run it behind the scenes. Okay, okay. So what are some of those people, if you don't mind sharing about them?
People know them. A person like Joe Ayenga, we have Christine.
Yes.
We have people like Silvano.
Yes.
The founder is still there.
Yes.
And many more.
Okay.
We also have a rest team. Yeah, it also helps much in organizing some things and making it run smooth.
Very nice, very nice. At least we get a picture that City Riders is not just the way people see it out here.
Yeah, true.
They have sort of like a board, or they have a governing body, and then they also have a racing body, and then they have the general
group now.
Yes, and it is the general group that most of us are normally seeing, and we tend to forget that there is an engine. What we are seeing is the captain, and we think the captain is just sort of like he's doing magic.
No.
He's doing things.
You can't do all that alone.
Yeah. So that's really incredible. How do you manage also? Because I think you are not just in paracycling, you are also in critical mass. So how have you been able to manage them both?
Most of the rides we do with the CityRiders, we normally do them on Sundays.
Yes.
Paracycling, we have trainings, but not every Sunday.
Yes.
So there are those that are set aside for paracycling. I normally set aside for paracycling. There are those I normally set aside for for rides with the CityRiders. Then weekdays, I have my own hustles. I'm an electrician. That is from Monday to Saturdays.
Yes.
Except the ones I used to run things at critical mass, with critical mass again.
Yeah, because critical mass they normally do them mostly on the
Saturdays,
last Saturday.
On Saturdays, even
there are those that goes even on Sunday.
On Sundays, but most of the things they do, I think,
on
Saturday.
Saturday.
So when I used to be there, I used to set aside some Saturdays for that business.
So why are you saying you used to?
It's because I felt it was time to move on.
So while others are looking to join critical mass, you are looking on exiting.
Exit and move on, push your own stuff. Yeah.
So let before even we get to why you decided to move on from critical mass, like what was your role in critical mass? Personally, I've been in critical mass. Sometimes I was helping as a marshal, and most of the time also like the person who tries to be like a goodwill ambassador, I would say like something like that. So, but I've not been involved so much like you because I think you've been doing a lot in critical mass. No wonder you want to put it aside.
Yeah. Like I said, as I said earlier, we started CityRiders back in 2020. We started pushing, having rides every Sunday, and our rides are rotational. What I mean by rotational is if we are doing Thika Road this Sunday, next Sunday we will do like Mombasa Road. Now have a ride, maybe let's say like Mua Hills or Kadiani or Mboni or Machakos Town, something like that. That is when I picked up, and people started knowing CityRiders, started knowing Iann as a captain, and that one elevated me into being critical mass marshal. So that was in 2021, even before Corona, before Corona. So we used to do. I used to do marshalling at critical mass. I later was appointed as a Thika Road bike chain captain. So that was in 2022. I used to work as a Thika Road bike chain captain. Then I later on was elevated as a society or community admin. That is being the face of the community. I was an admin there. Most of you guys, or most of the guys I have interacted there with them there, have seen me there.
So when you became the face of the community, what was your responsibilities like?
My role was bringing people on board and marshalling. That is, whenever there was any ride, my work was more on ground, making sure the event runs the way it's supposed to be. That means during the route shakers, you have to be there. Then making sure people observe time, your overall time management is okay, so that you don't inconvenience anything. That includes the traffic and yeah.
Wow, quite a lot of work for one person. Most of us, you normally see you running to intersections and exits to go and block traffic.
You know, when you are there, you just have to make sure everything runs the way it's supposed to be. So traffic and time management was my thing. That is why I just had to do it the way I used to do. Yeah.
And will I be wrong to say that probably there were times a whole day went into just a single ride for critical mass?
Normally, the work I used to do, running back and forth, controlling traffic, and doing everything with time management was a lot of work to me. So sometimes after the ride, unarudi huko nyumbani, you go home very tired, and just rest. There is
basically it ends up being more exhausting than the rides you do
in CityRiders or in any other ride. Yeah. Because
you are like the wheel,
the engine of critical mass. I was an engine there.
Well, it actually makes it very sensible that you want to move on from that.
Yeah.
I think for me as a person, I I did see that critical mass was going to be a bit of a challenge to me, and I reverted to just being like any other person participating in critical mass, so that when I come and if I have something to do or to attend to,
You just have your time.
yes, I can say I'll be in critical mass for 2 hours and then exit. But for you, you couldn't do that
You have to be there from the start.
unless you become sick.
Unless you become sick.
Or you collapse and you are put in an ambulance.
In an ambulance, yeah. You go to hospital.
But Ian is that person.
But
He
I
cannot get
enjoyed
sick.
doing it. You know,
Yeah.
it's fun, and we were there to promote cycling. I think so. That was the main thing that put us together on that one. We all believe cyclists' lives matter.
So, but at the same time, somehow you realize your life was getting at stake.
Things getting tougher. The ones you are working with are not considering all your effort. You know.
So I don't need you to mention names or anything, but you can just paint a picture to us. Like, what are some of the things that really made you to start to rethink your decision of continuing to be active in critical mass?
You know, critical mass pushes I don't know how I can frame it up, but we all believe cyclists' lives matter.
Yeah.
And many cyclists out there believe so.
Yes.
Just by default. But you know, we are a community. We have to expand. We have to grow each other, and we have to move forward in a better way, so that whoever finds it in future finds it at a better place than we left it.
Than you found it.
Than we found it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, what made me go deeper or involve myself that deep with performance was all about growing cycling and inclusivity. Yeah, growing cycling. But now, with time, you come to realize, hey, wherever you are with,
Yeah.
after something else, not the core.
Okay, basically you realize that the way somebody is perceived out there is different with the way you actually see him when you are now interacting closely with him. So you realize somebody has two faces. Interesting. So somebody is sort of like a shapeshifter. Okay. So I think I'm starting to get a picture of the whole thing, because now critical mass is supposed to be a goodwill community for cyclists.
Yeah.
We have different types of cycling communities. There are those around, for example, racing. There are communities around women.
Yeah.
There are communities around inclusivity, and then there are communities that are just general.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing that probably critical mass was lacking in it was the racing part. But the rest of the things, it was like it was carrying all of them.
Yeah, true.
They would have rights for ladies specifically, rights for children, and then
normal right.
That
is last Saturday the one.
And then of course there are times they do fashion like for what do they call that? For where people ride with any clothes.
Any clothes.
Yeah, there's something like that.
it was a nice idea. Whoever came up with it had a very good idea.
And then sometimes critical mass, they also participate in events organized by other organizations like UN.
Yeah, true.
There is EB, sometimes they organize promotional rights. Yes.
Yeah.
And
there are some other events that they come in as a
organized by critical mass or critical mass are invited.
are just invited.
They are invited, but
or do a collaboration.
Oh yeah, they collaborate
They
with
collaborate
others.
together.
Yes. Now, like if you can remember, also there are certain events that are just to do with the leaders of cycling groups. Like I participated in one some time back. We were doing first aid training. I'm sure you can remember that one.
First aid training.
Yes.
When was that? Or where was that?
It was just in CBD, somewhere in Tomboya.
Tomboya Street.
Yes.
I remember.
Yes, we are being taught a lot of things to do in first aid. Yes.
It was really helpful.
And then again, another event I've also participated as being a cycling leader was the one for Flow Initiative. We were having conversation around women and cycling, and then I can't remember the other bits, but I remember in that one we were most of us.
So the initiative was all about women inclusivity in public transport.
Yes, that one.
It was in public transport.
Yes, we were even given certificates, and then I think I can't remember if I've attended another activity. Maybe it's because I started to become dormant in critical mass. Yeah. But for you, I think you've attended a lot of them.
I've attended a lot.
And so, may I know when critical mass is organizing these events and everything? Did you see something that probably made you to question some things? I'm just talking about the collaboration part. When it's collaborating with other people or other organizations.
Question something, yeah, you can. There is always that part where you can question her. But most of the things we were told, we were even included on the tables where those events were being when the events were being planned.
Yes.
Yeah, and we played a big role on ground and back behind the curtains.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and now the reason why I'm asking you that is because you've just hinted that there are people who happen to be having different versions of themselves, or rather, they have like 2 or 3 faces. So, would you try and make us understand what are some of the instances that made you to draw such conclusions?
Mm-hmm. As a CityRiders captain,
yes,
CityRiders is a large community itself. So when doing rides, it gave me exposure to most of captains, cycling club captains. When I say cycling club captains, I mean a club like Cycling Nairobi,
yes,
GRC, Kitengela Cycling Club,
yes,
Thika Cycling Team,
yes,
and very many out there that exist.
yes.
So whenever we do any ride with critical mass, more so on those specific routes, like let's say we are doing a ride along Mombasa Road.
Yes.
I'll call Kitengela Cycling Club captain, tell him, hey, on this date we are planning a ride. If your group is free or if your guys are free, you can join us or we can plan that one together. So that is how we normally work.
Yes.
So during critical mass ride, I can give example of Need for Speed.
Yes.
So that is a ride where we put all cycling club captains together, tell them about what we are intending to do, then come up with a plan and dates for it. Then organize ourselves together with marshals and make it happen the way it's supposed to be. So that is how things used to do in normal times. When I say normal times, it means a ride like Need for Speed, normal rides like the ones that happen every last Saturday of the month, where all bike train captains are included. You have to cycle with people from different destinations along the route to Givenchy and back. So that is how everyone is included or is put on board for that certain event. But now, when other events that may have something like how will I frame that one? The events like the one that happened with UN. I think that is where nilifika mwisho and I decided let me go my way.
Yeah.
Let me go and concentrate with the CityRiders and any other thing that comes up.
Yeah.
I like the one we did with UN. You see, we have been doing rides every last Saturday of the month. We have been doing rides every time with critical mass. Most of these times they include us, bike train captains. They include club captains. They include marshals to have that community come together.
Yeah.
For us to have the numbers.
Yeah.
You see, for us to have the numbers. But it comes to our notice that all this time, the main people behind critical mass, main faces, that is the people running critical mass. You know, personally I was there, but it's CityRiders that elevated me there. I didn't get much involved in critical mass leadership because ingekuwa kazi mingi hata kwangu. Yeah. So I decided to focus on CityRiders alone. Critical mass tunapatana time mostly on rides and just making things run on ground. So I read like the one we did with the one they recently did with UN. You find that the main faces behind critical mass had opened another club.
You mean
they started another club? You know, critical mass is an organization. I'll get there.
Stop it there. Let's take a break. So Ian, you've spoken about you've spoken about your role in the critical mass and how you got to a point whereby you are like the face of it. Now, you've mentioned that there was a particular event that involved the UN, and in that particular event, it's when you realize that there was another club that had been created in the shadows.
Yeah. This club they created some time back in I think it was end of 2022 or the start of 2023. That was the time they created it. But you see, it was very dormant. They created it and then went silent. So until the other day, I think it was start of this year or end of last year. So they started pushing it into the community. They started having rides, inviting everyone from different groups to join their rides and make it look as something as a general club.
Yes.
As a general club, because I personally was invited several times, but most of the time I had engagements with CityRiders. So hakuna venye there was no way I would fail to appear in CityRiders rides. Then
even me, I remember being invited, but I'm not. I think I've attended like two, and I haven't been able to.
Yeah. So you see, during their normal rides that happens on Saturdays and sometimes on Sundays, they used to bring everyone on board.
So by the way, even
these are the clubs that exist around Nairobi.
Even Need for Speed was still that particular club running the whole show, if I'm not wrong.
No. Need for Speed was still under Critical Mass. I'm the one who organized Need for Speed. But now, it seems like the owners had a different hidden agenda.
Let's say the founders.
The
founders of Critical
Mass, yeah, had a hidden agenda.
So they put you to plan the whole thing.
I'm planning the whole thing,
but they're still running the show.
I make sure it's running the way it's supposed to be. But behind the curtains, they had something of which the way things were was to put the club into the community. Yeah. And that is how it happened.
So let me go back to the issue of Flown. I tend to imagine Flown has been conducting other partnerships with the Critical Mass apart from that particular one.
There have been several times they have conducted together. The first one I think we did was we had a meeting. They had a meeting. The ladies had a meeting at Alchemist. Yeah, and we marshals were paid, of course. It was an event that it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. From there, things happened. A group was formed, that is Kenya Cycling Women, was formed out of it, and now the clubs that were invited at first were now put aside, and everything done by Kenya Cycling Women.
So, while you are talking about Kenya Cycling Women, wasn't there not Dada Rights involvement initially?
There was Dada Rights, it was still existing and still doing good. But when Kenya Cycling Women came by, yes, I think whoever was running Dada Rights felt it. So I can say she stepped out.
She was taken behind and other people started running the show.
Kenya Cycling Women was taken away from the control was taken away from Dada Rights. And I think that was one of the personal interests that made the group to be born. Yeah. So because even if I can remember well, yes, I think if I'm wrong, let it be. But you can confirm. There was a day that the Rights had a race at Kakarani. Yes. That same day, there was another ride conducted by Kenya Cycling Women. You see, Dada Rights had early announced the ride. Yes. The poster was out, I think, 4 or 5 months earlier. Then it was later postponed. But then, even after it was postponed, the date they were holding the event at Kakarani, Kenya Cycling Women had another event being held along Nyerere Road. That is there was another event there to just try and divert
Attention.
the attention, and you see, it's like proving to someone I'm the one running the show.
Yeah.
That was something I felt it happened. And when I say that, it's because I was in those groups that were planning the rides, and when you see the type of communication that was being brought up on the film, you can easily tell, as a leader, as anyone else, just by your presence, you can easily tell there was something.
Okay, we'll not go into the details, but let's move on to something else. We want to talk about you as a marshal. You've also mentioned that the like when you did the Flown initiative, you are even paid. So it means that when critical mass was conducting some partnerships and all those things, sometimes there was money to the extent that captains or marshals could be paid. So is there at a point a scenario whereby people were never paid and yet there was money to be paid?
You know, when you join critical mass as a marshal,
Yes.
there are so many narratives you are told.
Yes.
One, you are told critical mass is a non-profitable organization, and whatever we are doing is just by I can say
volunteering.
Volunteering.
And it's all for goodwill. You are told every cyclist is a stakeholder.
Stakeholder and everything. Yeah.
And above all, you are told cyclists' lives matter.
Yeah.
But now, does the life of marshals matter?
I don't know. But now, whatever you're told at the start is what drives you.
Yes.
It's what drives you. So uko pale unapiga job ukijua, hey, you know what, we are doing it for the community.
Yes.
But now, as days go and you are there in leadership, you come to realize, there is something fishy going on, because there is a time marshals will have a duty to play. They are all to play. I mean, they go do it perfectly, then get paid.
Yes.
Normal payments, 2K, 1,500, 1,000, or if it's that much, maybe 3,000, 3,500.
Yes.
But not beyond that. Now, from where I was, or from the tables I used to sit, I understand marshals here were used as were just being used, you know.
Yeah.
Someone goes to sit on a table, then negotiates on behalf of all those marshals, uses things like, you know, these marshals are trained first aider. They have been trained first aid. They can easily control traffic and everything.
Yes.
So whatever it bargains, you can find like maybe it bargains a little higher amount.
Yes.
From what is
on the ground.
From what they are paying you. So that is what happens. Sometimes you can go just play your role, and you are told, you know what, it was just a volunteer work.
Yes. So you are saying somebody is told, somebody goes to negotiate on behalf of few marshals, says, oh, these captains, these marshals, they are first aid proficient.
And let me cut you short. And they do everything to prove that.
Yes.
You know, the other day, even before the UN ride.
Yes.
You can follow up. Before the UN ride, there was marshals, a training session for the marshals. It only took like 2 hours, I think, so 2 or 3 hours, somewhere in Parkland. In a hockey field.
I saw that on their Instagram.
Yeah. But me, I didn't attend.
Yes.
I just took it as a normal PR to push the agenda.
Yes.
They did it as a PR to push the agenda.
Mm.
You know, they have come, told you we have marshals, they are trained and everything.
Yes.
So they just have to do something to make it to make their statement true.
Mm.
And that is why marshals were taken to a hockey pitch, trained, all those stuff, 2 hours. Already you are given a certificate now.
And then the UN thing comes in.
And then the UN thing comes in. I think the first aid training that happened in a correct way was the one we did in 2023.
The one that I even participated in.
Yeah.
We did it for
around 3 days.
Yes.
2 or 3 days.
Actually, 2 days.
It ran from
morning
to evening.
Yes.
Yeah. Morning to evening. So that was the only first aid training that I saw was done in a correct way. But the other one was just for PR and making the agenda. They normally say the agenda must agenda.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes.
It must. And they use everything.
So basically, it's a PR community.
PR community.
So let's put cycling aside.
Yeah.
The whole thing is about PR.
We can't say
before everything.
Yeah.
Before we even go to anything else, we just put PR first. Then cycling can follow it.
Because when you get into details, it's like everyone is doing this here. Everyone. That means from marshals to everyone that attends CityRiders.
And I saw a comment in one of those groups, and coincidentally, there was not actually, it was a discussion in one of the groups that you are in, and I'm also in, and if I'm not wrong, it was in CityRiders. There was a discussion, and you hinted about this whole thing. Then somebody said that videos are normally taken. You don't know that the videos are taken, but those videos are you don't know that you're being recorded, and when you're recorded, it is going to be used out there to push the PR of the community up, and probably somebody will make money out of it. So when that comment came, there happened to be somebody else who also was in a position like yours at critical mass, and this person tried to curb that particular text, and it didn't go well. And then finally this person even left the group. You saw that communication?
I saw it. I went to critical mass as the face of CityRiders.
Yes.
So when I'm there, I'm there to represent my people.
Yes.
And whenever something good comes out of it, it's easy for me to include the people I represent, or the people that believe in my leadership.
Yes.
So when the whole event about UN came, and we saw critical mass there, we saw challenge hunters there, which was formed and run by the fellows behind the critical mass.
Yes.
And then we also saw Cyclopedia there. Cyclopedia had been
dormant
for almost 3 years.
Yes.
2 or 3 years, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, Cyclopedia was supposed to pick from Spin Kings. When Spin Kings died prematurely. So Cyclopedia came, but it was just dead on arrival. But recently, we are seeing Cyclopedia. Cyclopedia is very much alive.
And Cyclopedia is very much alive. Challenge Hunters is there. Critical Hour is there. Then my question was, hey, do you guys mean CityRiders don't exist, GRC don't exist, or there is no any other club around Nairobi that can be involved in this? Because the people of the faces behind these cycling entities, that is Critical Mass, Challenge Hunters, and Cyclopedia, were on table planning the event. They knew the event was happening. They are the one who planned the event, and they knew it like 5 or 6 months before. You know, all that time they had all that time to include us or share with us, since we are all a community. And we used to do it together. So they had time to involve us in that, but they failed. What they did was they were busy forming challenge hunters and making sure it has that general look. You see? So when the event, when the information came out that these guys have been doing this and this all that time without involving us, I think that one made me even leave the community. I left and went back to CityRiders. I just told them the way things were. I told them I have quit. I didn't use the term quit, but I said whatever I was doing with the Critical Mass, my engagements, I just stopped. I'm still available as a CityRiders captain anytime, but only Critical Mass I'm out. So after some time, I come and told them the truth that whatever took me there was 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. Just find some opportunities, because whenever I do rides with these people, they talk to me. They ask me, hey, Ian, can you represent us, or give the opportunities when they come? Zifike huku chini, you know? And even as much as you are a leader, and you are still up there, you can still feel it. You see? You can still feel it. So you have had the opportunity of dealing with people at the bottom, and the ones at the top. But you know, the ones at the top, you see, the ones at the top are not listening. They are presenting their interests first, and you are carrying a very big burden of the community. I felt it won't happen anymore. I quit. So I want us to wind it down. We've been trying and understand the whole thing about Critical Mass and your involvement and everything that you've seen. Do you think if people want to follow up such things, probably especially from the marshals, that some of them would see a reason to leave? Or I can't advise anyone to leave Critical Mass. Critical Mass, let them continue doing whatever they feel. As long as they feel they are okay. Yeah, as long as they feel they are okay, let them continue doing so. And I think it's time everyone does better. And for CityRiders? No, CityRiders we are doing nothing. No, I mean, now you speak as the captain of CityRiders. Do you think your opinion right now, people with CityRiders can actually go with them with regards to Critical Mass? We are dealing with grown-ups most of the time. Yes. And everyone can make a decision for himself or for herself. Yes. Attend any ride, be it Critical Mass, be it CityRiders, be it any other club. That is a decision that depends on someone.
An individual.
But my message to everyone out there is, despite me being the face of critical mass, I felt I was used.
And you want to stop it?
I was used, and it came to a point I just had to stop it. They have said marshals are being used, and I firmly think everyone there is being used. The ones that are benefiting are just a few. Sometimes, critical mass is a non-profitable organization. It is registered as a non-profitable organization, and sometimes there are donations that comes from individuals, from just out of goodwill.
Yes.
And even just knowing when the donations are there, or how it's being given out.
Yeah.
There is no.
So maybe a little bit about the donation part. There's been I think there was a time there was a container of bicycles that had come in, if I'm not wrong.
There was a time I received a call from one of the leaders.
Yes.
One of the officers. I received a call saying, "Hey, Ian, find us a place.
Yes.
Someone has donated a container of bikes."
Yes.
I said, okay. They said the bikes were to be used for 1, 2, 3 things, and we said, okay. So after some 1 hour, while I was still in the ups and downs, making some calls, I received another call telling me, we have gotten someone, a name was mentioned in the bike shop, that person has agreed to give us a storage for those bikes. But now later on, after some time, I think I saw one bike was given at Jivaji and videos taken. So you see some things like some events, or when things like that happen, you start questioning yourself, what or what is going on here, so that is some of the things that made me quit critical mass. I felt it's more of a crime scene. Yeah, it's more of a crime scene.
Wow. Anyway, I think we don't have much time. We try to at least try to understand, because the main reason why I asked you to come to my podcast was that after seeing that exchange that was in your group, I wanted to get into it and try to understand what's going on. You've been a friend, and you're still a friend, and
that just to make another
yes.
Another point clear. That conversation, whoever started it was a marshal. Where I used to sit, and where other marshals, were sitting, was two different places.
Yes.
Was two different places. And wherever I was sitting, there was no information, nothing at all. Zile vitu tulikuwa tunaona was just the normal happenings and everything. So whatever she was defending, she know less, very much less than what I even know.
Well, I did try to engage with her later on, and I decided I couldn't go with the conversation for long, because I think it was going to go south, and I wasn't prepared to take things south, especially with somebody I take as a friend, and I didn't want this whole thing to come in between our friendship. But I thought the only person who could actually give me a picture was you, and so far you've been able to make me understand. So for her, I think she was defending something probably she wasn't aware of, and it's totally okay with her. And then if she even made a decision to leave the group, it was very good of her. Yeah, because it was going to affect a lot of things.
The allegations I'm making, whoever stands in a position to answer all those things are the factors behind critical mass and challenge centers.
Yes.
Those are the ones that can are responsible.
So basically, you want to say
I was dealing with them direct. Whatever marshals were being told were just narratives.
So
that is how I can.
So you want to say as we are concluding, you say challenge others is an extension of critical mass.
Is an extension of critical mass. And by the same people, whenever there are opportunities out there, you will see challenge hunters, you will see critical mass. And but other groups, other clubs that attend their normal ride, you'll hardly find one. Okay. And that was clearly illustrated in the Iann ride. CityRiders, we were there. Even I'm the face of critical mass. I was the face of critical mass, but I didn't knew the event was happening until we were told last minute. We have a ride with the NTSA and UN. We are going there. So they have even reached to a point where they can put me in that group where you are just told come and join us, instead of telling us earlier, including us in their plans and everything. So that whoever we represent or whatever plans we have with the people we represent, we are to do it. We are doing it.
Well, I think we've tried to cover a lot, and from where you are speaking from, I think you've made it clear that you want to proceed with normal activities.
I'm proceeding with normal activities
and everything.
At CityRiders, we normally have group rides. I have a racing team. All we need is a little support to make things run. Running a club hasn't been easy. Sometimes in fanya kichwa and but we are grateful. God keeps us going. So I'm still available as CityRiders captain. For pale kwa races, group rides will resume soon, and we shall go on with life. We shall,
okay.
We shall go on with life. On the racing part, races are quite expensive. I think the organizers waangalie hiyo sehemu pia, but we have talent huko ground. We have talent. The other day we had a ride. Not the other day. Last month we had a ride to Nakaini. Just an easy ride, and it happened. People turned up. Now wakafinya, and they even walibeba KMs kadhaa huko Nakaini. That shows you how vijana wanajituma huku chini. Guys are pushing themselves to their limits.
Okay. Thanks for your time. I think if there is something that we have probably not talked about today, we can always find another day and talk about it. And probably try and be creative around the conversations that affect us inside. Yes, thanks for your time. I do appreciate you making time to come and talk about this. and whoever is going to watch this, you will try and take this message positively. We do not have anything against critical mass. We do not have anything against telegranters or cyclopedia or any cyclist out there. We just want to have a cycling community that is inclusive, as the way they normally
it's
talk.
supposed to be, or the way they normally talk.
Yes. All these clubs are selling the narrative of inclusivity.
Yeah.
But the way they've been conducting themselves, it lacks the element of inclusivity.
And we are here for one thing. Promoting cycling is the main thing that puts us together. So it doesn't matter whatever role you are playing, wherever you are. But when it comes to something that unites us,
yes,
let us all be on table. If there is opportunity, there are opportunities. We should be chini. We should have events where you find representatives from a club like GRC, a club like CityRiders, Cycling Nairobi, Bike Collective, Thika Road Timbers, Thika Cycling Team, Thika Cycling Club, and very many other. There is urban cycling. There is cyclists from Dandora, Dagoretti,
yes,
and very many people are organized down here. People have even formed clubs in their localities and so on.
Yeah.
So let them all be included on these tables. Everyone wants to be seen. Yeah, everyone wants to be seen. It hurts when you find only those opportunities are given to certain people. Those opportunities are given to maybe critical mass marshals only, or another group. That is not good.
Okay, thanks for your time, and for you who is watching us, we still want to maintain that you need to take everything that has been said here today positively, and we'll be waiting to hear from the leaders of critical mass and even challenge others and any other people who have been mentioned, that if they have something to say about all these things, they are free to reach any of us. And if they want to have a conversation like this one, we can always create time.
Feel free to talk.
And then we address these issues so that we continue to promote cycling.
Yeah.
Until next time, thanks.